fellow Warframe enjoyers.
The worst quest
really?
I've ever played
How's the I thought she's just a wife of bait. Why am I right?
is this quest.
Kirelli's quest. Or is it? Actually.
Like, terrible. Terrible.
What am I doing? Oh. You know, like on a real skateboard.
What do you
Flat on the
mean? My
floor
rants are
after some
adorable.
sort of- Well,
I'm gonna scream.
hi. Since when the skill issue became a valid reason for patching the game?
I'm mad, but I got to be the lucky person that played it right before the nerf.
Pick one, Warframe or Warhammer.
Warframe.
It was for what to react to Lolbotka chose Warframe so they get to go home to Fortuna.
Chat. Can you believe it? I can't have chocolate today. I'm gonna have a dessert bagel. That's my constellation. At least I get bagel. What is wrong with you guys? Alright. Well, I'm changing it to reacts.
We seek to bring balance to the force and head pats to the cute back of Bokath 1 pat Bokath 1 pat Bokath 1 pat Bokath 1 pat.
Stop.
Hello, epic Warframe gamers. It's me, your favorite
Epic
hardworking
Warframe
Warstop drudge.
gamers.
Today, I have some hard words for you all. Something unfathomable, unthinkable happened. Apparently, I might be wrong. I know how a stupid idiot with a YouTube page could be wrong about something. But I'm afraid it's one of these times. You see, not so long ago, I made a video titled The Worst Quest in Human History, where I talked about Warframe Size Vigil, a quest so bad in its writing, pacing, and its placement in the game's progression, it single-handedly killed the most amount of new players. The single best thing this video could have ever achieved is to start a dialogue within the game's community. And it did. There were a huge amount of different, diverse opinions in the comment section. So some people spoke about their own experience with Size Vigil, their difficulties with the quest, and how DE, the game's developer, could possibly fix it. Wink wink nudge nudge. Another group of people were random boomers who said that the helicopter mission from GTA or some other shit was a lot worse. Which is a valid opinion. I haven't played all of the games, and most likely there are some shitty fucking...
The worst quest I've ever played is this quest. The second worst, the one that used to be the worst, was the tutorial from Driver. Because you had to do the entire tutorial in 60 seconds, I think it was, or something like that, or you wouldn't pass. It would ignore your last input.
Quest out there. But there also was a third group of comments, also written by a fellow Warstop enjoyers, saying that actually there are quests a lot worse than Size Vigil in Warframe. Some talked about the Glassed Gambit,
I want a future where all of the children can be happy.
I am a very friendly fellow.
some about the Michael Yordis Precept, some even said that the new war
Documentally
might be
block
the
out
worst
the
quest in
Ureli
the whole game.
quest.
I'm gonna brutally...
No. It's in the folder marked places I'll never go again.
murder you. But the majority of these comments were about Ureli's quest, the Wave Rider. So, have you watched the fucking video? The main point was that the Vigil is so awful because it's written badly, has bad gameplay, and it's a mandatory quest that takes place in the first hour of playtime. Imagine if in Skyrim, right after escaping Helgen, you would be forced to collect every single red Njornrod. Before guilds, before main quest, before side quests, you would be forced to do this one stupid fucking chore. The Wave Rider is a side quest. You can choose to engage with it whenever you want, or not to engage with it at all if you don't like to. I personally have
Here's the problem. It locks a Warframe behind it. And for some people, ADHD people especially, when they see their little list, and their list doesn't have a complete Warframe, and they look at it and they're like, oh! Then you have to complete the quest because it'll stay on your board.
400 hours in the game and I haven't I haven't done it. Maybe I shouldn't be such an arrogant fucking asshole then. Maybe I should check it out myself before making conclusions. Fuck, I'm stupid. So, to even start the Wave Rider, you have to complete
You are stupid. Incredibly stupid.
Solaris, the main quest that introduces you to Fortuna, Orb Veles, and the Solaris United Syndicate, as well as to all of the intricacies of living
hate
under
all
the
of them.
progressive capitalism regime of Corpus Faction. And since the patch 35, right after an update that made completing size vigil a junction requirement, Vox Solaris is also shoehorned into the early game. You can't move past Venus before completing it. There is a single node and a junction between these two. 10 quick tips for jumping into Warframe. Come back to the open landscapes later. Proceeds to make an obligatory open world tutorial right after an obligatory open world tutorial. So, during the quest you're obtaining a K-drive, some sort of a hoverboard from the local punk kids who are squatting in the local vents. And after dealing with all this profit taker business, so funny, you're getting contacted by one of the vent kids, Rocky. After accepting quests in our codex, we are getting another message from Rocky. Now a bit more concerning. She found something that may be related to Yoreli, a Warframe idol for the vent kids. I mean, of course she is. Bitch has an inbuilt K-drive. She, the girl, not Yoreli, did something stupid and
I
now
got
she
confused
needs
there
our
for a
help.
second. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Arriving at their place, we can see Rocky
What do you
collapse on the
mean my
floor
rants
after
are
some sort
adorable?
of injury.
Where do you
And
get
her
that
brother
from?
Boone saying that he found her in Orb
That's
Valleys
it, I'm not
after he
ranting
crashed
anymore.
her K-drive. Boone is saying that the only one who can patch her up is Neff Annual,
Nah, I'll
the
rant
local
some more.
kind corpus
I can't
landlord,
keep my
who
mouth shut.
isn't really in a helping mood after what we did in Vox Solaris. So Rocky is essentially fucking dead. Also, Boone found some weird device on her he can't open. After interacting with it, we can see that this is a Graphica, basically a flash drive with a holographic projector. And this particular Graphica is a comic book, the extremely rare first edition of The Wave Riders, a comics about Yoreli. She's a fucking superhero in this setting. But the caveat is we can only access the very first page of a book, because following ones are locked under the list of unique K-Drive challenges a reader must do to unlock the whole thing. So Rocky injured herself while trying to do it. I mean, it's a child who lives in a vent. Then, something weird happens. Her brother said that when he also was brutally injured, Rocky told him a bunch of Wave Riders legends to encourage him or something. So now, instead of asking us to find a doctor or some sort of cure for her, Boone asks us to do a bunch of K-Drive challenges so he can tell his sister a story of her favorite superhero, hoping that it will motivate her not to give up or just she could hear them before she dies. An unpleasant situation. So here's where the quest actually starts. You need to complete 3 different challenges on your board, then get back to Boone so he could read a newly unlocked page for you all. Repeat it a couple of times until the comic is finished. And right from the bat, I can kinda see the main criticisms of this quest. Firstly, it forces you to learn a very specific new skill. There is a single piece of content linked with the K-Drive, the Vent Kids Syndicate, and the only thing it offers you is some upgrades for your board so you could level up their standing more efficiently. Things could be a bit better if only K-drives were at least sometimes useful. Yes, they can be faster than your Warframe while traversing the open world, sometimes, but they are totally outclassed by that thing. The second problem is that K-drives are fucking hard. I thought the shit would be a lot more arcadey and easy to control, but no, you need to have a rhythm and a very specific timing while doing tricks. Do it a little earlier and your combo streak is over, a little bit later and... Сука, дебил, блядь. Ow. But right now we shouldn't worry about it. The first couple of pages are blessed. The Orb Valleys is gorgeous and I'm starting to get used to the K-Drive flow. Page 1. The only remarkable challenge is to complete a K-Drive race. The one I chose has this cool ravine at the finish mark. Very useful, because page 2 has the first hard-ish task. Obtain 5 seconds of air time on a K-Drive. I tried a couple of times, but the ravine from the race is sadly too small for that. I need to find a better place. Wait, or find another... Ah! You fucking assholes, I knew that! Now I see why the girl ended up in a fucking comatose. So, page 3. Keep a K-Drive trick chain for 10 seconds. Seems doable? Nope, the art is too short. I need to do it legitly. Да, блядь.
Hi, Divine!
The tooltip says that I can use these blue marks to increase the combo duration but controls of this piece of shit are so floaty. I can't pick them up while I'm spinning like a fucking fan. And the worst fucking part that these stupid fucking marks are not respawning, suka. So you can easily screw yourself by finding a great trick spot and failing once. Why is my chain dropping? Why? What am I doing wrong? Oh fuck, I got it. The trick is, you need to descend from the higher place, so you would have more time in the air to maintain your combo streak. You know, like on a real skateboard. I found this beautiful route, where you are starting at the snowy peak on the edge of the map, then you descend through the green hills, or, if you feel extra adventurous, you can cross the huge mushroom groves. Then you go in between these two rocks into a small ravine that leads into this gorgeous carcass of an Orkin tower. Or you can just abuse the shit out of this combo system, jumping on a pipe behind Fortuna. As easy as that. The fourth page is almost free, no strings attached. We can easily do a 10x combo twice on the same route. Any K-Drive race you can just slide through without making any tricks. So the only weird task this time is to kill a bunch of creatures by performing a slam attack on your K-Drive. It feels just awkward. But still, it's just a small inconvenience, nothing horrible. The last page is locked mainly under performing a 500 points combo, which is piss easy on the same old mountain route. That's it. Or is it? If you yourself have completed the Wave Rider before 2023, you might think that the quest I'm describing to you is a lot more easy, quick and bearable than you remember it. Because it is. In my beloved update 34, Digital Extreme, while being extremely busy on making the smelliest, stinkiest and the most repulsive fucking decision in the game's history, also nerfed the shit out of their most hated quest. Well,
I'm gonna scream!
kinda.
I'm trying to roll out. I don't know, I can't do some of these, I know I can't. This?
Arguably, the hardest challenge in the post-nerf Wave Rider is to perform a 500 points combo to unlock the 5th page. In old Wave Rider, you have to earn 1000 points as a 3rd page task, 1500 as 4th, and whopping 2000 to unlock the 5th page. Still cheatable, by the way.
I eat
There
a
are a lot of repeatable tasks in the
breakfast,
pre-nerf
bagel.
version, and considering that there are
cinnamon.
5 challenges per page, instead of 3, like right now, these tasks were also a lot more boring. You know, like, do the same shit 5 times in a row without any variety. Yeah, that kind of stuff. So what do you think was their reasoning to nerf the challenge requirements? I shit you not. Since when the skill issue became a valid reason for patching the game? Still, it's a quality patch. The quest objectively became better, not because it's easier now, but because tasks themselves aren't that dull. So what's about the story? All this time we spent just so we could read a comic book. I hope that's worth it. The comic starts with a bunch of hard-working Samaritans getting whipped by their fair and honest supervisor. His name is Vulgren, and he is really passionate about his job.
Order, piss rats! Your mothers are weeping in their graves to see such idleness!
Yeah, I definitely recognize this character writing. Suddenly, something starts leaking on his bald-ass head. But it's not just a leak, it's our girl Yareli and her signature move, a Chinese water drop torture. Baldy, being fan of torturing himself, doesn't respect Yareli's psyop warfare and starts approaching her to show the good old whooping to death method. Fuck you, Baldy. Yareli is getting out. Yareli starts to taunt him by saying that he's bald, I assume, so Volgrand would pursue her until he gets completely tired. The chase continued until Baldy knocked her down with that annoying hook move the Scorpion enemies are using. I guess Yareli should have installed Prime Sure-Footed. Ooh, how interesting. I hope no one would distract us from reading the next page. Right after unlocking the 3rd page, we are getting contacted by Nef Enyo himself, who immediately starts trolling a fucking child for the fact that his sister is in a coma. You know, I like this bastard, I really do. Almost always we are getting LV as a big baddie of Corpus in quests, but Nef, come on. He's a fucking mustache-twirling villain. We don't get to see him very often, but I'm so glad that his pathetic, candy-taking, cheese-smelling ass is in this.
I'm mad. Can I state that I'm mad? That I got to be the lucky person that played it right before the nerf. Because I don't think... He's definitely lying about the 2,000 points being easy. That wasn't that bad, Ari. It was the 2,000 points and the 1,500 points.
Story. Page 4. Vulgran is readying his finishing blow, but his weapon is broken. Suddenly all of the peaceful workers, each 1/3 of his size, came to awkwardly stand around him, while the text box implies that these poor bastards are a pack of hungry rats that would devour him like a piece of shit. Yeah, right. Man could easily pick every single one of them and literally tear them apart like a fuck. Oh, Yareli is alive. After that, Nev contacts us once again, now saying that Rocky and him had a deal that he would write off all of their housing debts, but only if the girl gives him a fully completed graphica. Also, she tried to unlock the comic book to sell it later, so she and her friends could live their lives without the fear that they could be cut open and their organs could be harvested any moment. That's cute. But why does Nev cares about some fucking comic book? See, he has a very wealthy buyer for it on Deimos. Damn. One quest ago, he, the alleged descendant of Parvus Granum, son of a man who founded the corpus, was...
Is it the person that bought it? Grandma? Grandmother? She buys it directly from them? At the end? If I remember correctly.
making plots to dominate the entire faction, just to become some bum-ass Nike shoe reseller. Fucking shame.
You know as well as hell that he got the modified K-Drive. I didn't either.
Questions. Who exactly Nev meant by a buyer on Deimos? I assume one of the 6 intelligent, sensible and relatively healthy people who are living there. But don't worry, you never heard about them. Right? Anyways, the last page. Slaves are attaching some anti-grav devices to Baldy's carcass, so Yareli could whoop his ass into the stratosphere. He's fucking dead. Turns out that all the story was a reminiscence of one of the poor bastards Yareli saved. Now his life is a lot better, he got much more civil working conditions, and a full head of hair, I guess.
I still dream of water, and I wonder if sometimes she dreams of me.
No. Boone is glad that he could read this story, now he's ready to sell the graphica, so his sister could hear his retelling of it when she wakes up. But suddenly, Nev called us once again, now saying that his buyer isn't interested in the comic book anymore. Our deal is broken, and that means that he won't help us with Rocky. She's fucking dead. Boone already contacted Nev's buyer from Deimos, who turned out to be Grandma? Man, I really thought they would lean in Kaylee's direction, considering what a fucking dweeb she is. But I guess Bald Granny is a fan of bald people comic books. Also, Grandma made some elixir that somehow fixed Rocky's Naira fucking conduit. Okay, she's an orc and she can do things like this, apparently. So, in the end, kids got their legend and a piece of property they can live on without eventually getting mutilated. Nev Enya was a pathetic little cunt for 10 minutes, and Grandma got her comic book. Yeah, it's kinda a nothing story. There is
All it really tells you is that grandmother's based. That's really all you learn from this quest. Which you already knew if you played it. You knew that she was based.
It's a conflict involving the quest's main characters. Here's a Deus Ex Machina.
That's like the only good part of the quest. Like, yay, we're happy the girl's okay. Why did she almost get herself killed doing this quest again? But like, like the silver lining, I guess. But like the quest itself, terrible. Terrible, 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 terrible. Don't lock a really good frame behind a garbage mission.
Resolves the quest conflict. Also, they aren't homeless now.
I like how Lock-On refused to let me know that they nerfed the quest, like, to the ground.
Oh. Yep, it's not a story-driven quest. It's a quest that teaches you a mechanic people just do not give a fuck about. Because it's isolated from any other piece of content in the game and simply isn't rewarding enough. But for some reason...
I think because you do the quest, you get to, like, 1 or something, right? Like, if you're doing his quest while you're doing it, you can get to, like, 1 or 2.
So charming. Maybe it's a, I don't know, maybe it's a holiday spirit or something. It's a story about kids being kids and dealing with a cartoon villain who wants their toys and probably dissect them. Then a character we all know, and I kinda like, not really, appears to save the day. I understand that if you find...
I love Grandmother. Grandmother's my favorite, one of my most favorite characters. Basically all the, I want to say, mom, sister, brother, father, and grandmother are some of my favorite characters.
little schmucks annoying, the whole quest would feel like a list of fucking chores you have to do. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the fact that I learned how to use K-Drive I previously never even thought about. I enjoyed some beautiful Orwell sceneries, and I enjoyed the simple little story that explores a small piece of this huge and rich world. And this is the moment when I realized it. In the post-quest inbox message from Grandma. Here she berates Nev for being such a fucking cunt and reveals that she wanted a graphica not because she's a comic book fan, but because there were ARL. How the fuck do you even pronounce it? But because there were a Yareli blueprint hiding somewhere in this thing. Yareli was a close friend of her until she prolapsed. Now Grandma grants the blueprint. Why am I writing this? Now Grandma grants the blueprint to us, asking to resurrect her old friend, and mentions that the kids from Fortuna would die to see her. I really don't know. For some reason it feels so personal, especially compared to the regular please rebuild the Warframe from the Silver Gross or Sense of Inaros. They also should be personal stories, but how dry they are. I never even thought about crafting Yareli. I thought she's just a waifu bait for fucking coomers, and yet here I am, crafting her, because I thought her quest was cool and I really wanted to see the Van Kid's reaction. I thought this quest was fucking shit. What have you talked about? It's good. Story was charming and the post-nerf K-Drive challenges were a blast. How can you not enjoy?
Skill issue.
You, yes you, mister, I want to play my Jolly Robot and only my Jolly Robot. I completely understand what's your reasoning for hating on this quest, as well as I can understand hating Railjack.
I don't hate the story. I hate the quest. I don't hate the story. He's not complaining because he got dumb lucky and didn't have to do the other two parts. He doesn't understand how bad getting the 1,500 points and then a 2,000 points quest was like a slap in the face.
Fuck even the new war in some extent. Because you want to sit behind your screen after a long day of work for a couple of hours and chill. But the game forces you out of your comfort zone. Forces you out of your degenerate AFK, Kuva farming, relic opening comfort zone. Forces you to learn something. When you want to press a shift button for 30 minutes. I know, for many, me included, Warframe is a comfort game. You know, like Stardew Valley. Exactly like Stardew Valley. And I can relate to the deep feeling of anger when you are getting new, uninteresting for you content in the game that is already perfect for you. But the game is stagnating like this. You and I are stagnating like this. Listen, I started the Wave Rider thinking of it not as a slog I need to endure to get Yareli, but as a new experience I never had in this game. And I had a fucking blast. I tried something hard, I excelled in it, and I got an enjoyable piece of world building as a reward that helped me to appreciate a new Warframe in my collection. My brother in Christ, you will not cure your video game erectile dysfunction by doing nothing. Be fucking open-minded with this shit. Try to have fun. You're an old fucking man. You are not gonna have any positive emotions without seeking them first. I swear, these fuckers are amazing at making new experiences. They aren't a perfect developer. They made a lot of mistakes. But I swear, never in my life I seen a developer so set focused on trying to entertain and surprise you with new unique content. Take your K-Drive and max the daily standing with the...
That is true. I will say that DE is probably the one company that I've noticed that really tries to create new experiences and basically make your time, give you more fun with your
kids by doing something cool. Just because you can. Because you are cool.
Constantly
Grab a
trying
bunch of your
something
friends and go in the circuit. Not to speedrun weekly incarnates. Just you could have fun in this co-op shooter together. I don't know, go and build Chai Hana in your clan dojo. Have some fucking fun while playing this game for once. When you're getting a new quest that makes you use a new mechanic for an hour.
It was 3 hours. Not 1. 3. It probably would have taken you at least 2 to do the 2,000 points one.
don't fucking nag. Thank fucking god that it's not another 30 minutes of survival missions or a scan marathon. And if you haven't completed the Wave Rider quest, what are you waiting for? With nerfs like this quest can be speedrunned even by a fucking gorilla. Me by the way. Press the like button if you enjoyed the video. Press the dislike button if you hate fun. Oh yeah, happy Christmas to all of my Anglo-Saxonic viewers. Have a jolly one. Happy New Year for all normal people. I hope the next year won't be like this. Subscribe to the channel for more, because I really like making this one.
But yeah, oh, that was a good, pretty quick quest. Crouver. They only have 2,000 subscribers, guys. But go give them a like, guys. I'll post it in the chat. Give them a like. Wait, 2,000, guys? Oh, whoa? Can't allow that. Get them to 3,000. At least. Alright. Honor Cafe! Ayo. Those spikes on the
Otter
back.
Cafe? I think I'd rather not.
Oh! How dare you?